Good morning, folks. Welcome back. I'm in the woodshed. Folks, I'm going to address something. And I get it all the time. I really do. Y'all know how I live. I'm just a redneck hillbilly. I wear a hat that has straw or sawdust all over it. I have my barn jacket on. I have my rubber boots. My hands, if I'm in the garden, they're always dirty, right? But I do have water and I can wash my hands, folks. So, I don't live fancy, I live pretty simple. I do as much for myself as I possibly can, so I don't have to rely on the stores, right? That's just how I live pretty simple. And I've had a lot of practice living simple, right? So, practice and experience just in how I chose to live. And I'm always learning, right? I'm always learning. I never stop learning here. I always discover, oh, if I do that this way, and then that's more effective, or sometimes it's just the opposite, right? So I live the way that I talk. So when people think it's the new fad to live off grid, to have a homestead, to prep, it's the in thing, right? It is the in thing. Well, I've been doing this for quite a while, folks. I've simplified my life to the point where it's hard work, right? Because simple does not mean it's easy, folks. It just doesn't. So when somebody comes to me and says, well, I'm going to do this, 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 and this, X, Y, and Z, let's just talk about drying vegetables. And you've been telling them they should be doing that for a long time, or that was always an option, and they just don't say much, right? But when they get on YouTube and discover somebody that has, let's just say 300,000 subscribers, well, they didn't get to 300,000 subscribers by not doing some of their own work, right? They must have something to offer. But when they don't give all the information, folks, and this person thinks that, you know, they must be the queen of dehydrating food and putting it up, and all the creative things you can do with that food, then they must know what they're doing. But everybody makes mistakes. They leave certain things out, or if they're advanced and they put out an advanced video and you are coming in brand new, not knowing much about it, and you start off at the advanced level, well, there's dehydrating 101, right? You have to know the basics before you jump into 400 level, right? So this year, this fall alone, I know 3 people, folks, that I have spoken to personally about, well, this, you can do this, you can do that, this is easier, this is more effective, this is more time consuming. And these 3 in particular people chose YouTube for their information, which is good, but you can't start at the 400 level course without taking a 101 course, right? The basics. So I know of one person that dried all this food and they didn't allow it to rest to see if all the moisture was out of it before they powdered it up. And they ruined a lot of vegetables, folks. They ruined all that time. They ruined most of their garden, folks, because they did not know to rest the dehydrated vegetables before you stored them. They did not know that. Okay, in this 400 course video, 400 level course video, I am assuming that they assumed that people already knew how to dehydrate and they already went through the 101 course, right? So this person was kind of upset, came to me and said, da 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 da, and I said, yeah, well, you need to rest it to make sure all the moisture is out of it. You need to be absolutely positively 100% sure that the moisture is out of it before you store it, right? So then another person basically did the same thing, folks. Basically did the same thing and asked me if there was any way to demold their dried vegetables. Can't do that, folks. Can't do that. So there's just two examples. You know, sometimes the person with the most experience and the person that is more than happy to help you learn is the one that's most overlooked, right? Now I've got what, like, well, I know it's over 2,000 subscribers. I'm a very young channel. I look like a country hick. I do things very, very simple. I don't need expensive machines. I don't need all these mega food dehydrators. I don't need a freeze dryer. Is that what? No, a freeze? Yeah, freeze dry machine. I don't need that, folks. I live without electricity, right? And I am not willing to run my generator for 24, 48 hours just so I can dry some food, right? So what did I do? I went out and I bought some hanging mesh dehydrators, right? And they've served me very, very, very well, folks. And I've had them full for a long time now. Whereas you can take 1 or 2 days to dry, let's just say, onions in a dehydrator, electric dehydrator. Or you can be more patient and give it a week in one of my gadgets, right? You gotta be patient, folks. You gotta be patient. So, you know, it's pretty easy if you have a little bit of an air to you, or if air, yeah, an air. If you need all these fancy things in order to do a simple job, then more power to you. More power to you. But if you don't know what the hell you're doing, folks, and you screw up almost your whole entire garden because, one, you relied on one individual source from somebody you didn't know, because they must give all the accurate and full information, even for a newbie, because they've got 300,000 subscribers, right? That one source is all I need. I don't have to do any research. They're just going to tell me how to do it. And they're in their beautiful kitchen, and they, you know, everything is prim and proper, and everything's in its place, and they've got decorations and all of that. They may live that way, but when you have a sign in back of you that the camera is pointing at over your shoulder, that gives it's a plaque that has your YouTube channel name on it. It's like a stage, folks. It's a setup. It's a setup. That's their setting for their videos. Or you could be like me. I'm in a hat that's got hay and sawdust all over it. I'm in my barn jacket, which I'm sure has dirt on it. I am in my rubber boots. I'm in jeans. I'm in my woodshed, folks. Quite a backdrop, right? My potatoes that are drying. Some of my potatoes that are drying, I've got them over here, and I got some in the house, folks. And My garlic is up there, and my kindling is up there, and nothing's fancy, right? Nothing's fancy. So I'm not saying that all my information that I give is the end-all be-all. It isn't, folks. I am just saying and teaching what I absolutely 100% know that works for me. Without electricity, without running water. Things are a challenge, right? Things take slower. They take longer. It's slower. I think I said that a little bit wrong, but anyway. So, sometimes simple is, if you're living this life like I am, and you know that, because you know me, and we've had these conversations, yet you wanna go to a channel that has a prop, that's the word I'm looking for, a YouTube prop, right? And it has $500 blenders and a freeze dryer, and they've got top of the line stuff. It's pretty inviting for a lot of folks who are a little prestigious, right? Inviting. So that's all I'm saying, folks. If you're going to go to somebody that you do not know for your information, and you're going to stop at that one person because, you know, they're all set up, they're all fancy, and you're going to start out at a 400 or a 500 level course before you know the basics, then you deserve to fail, folks. You do. I'm just going to say it. You just deserve to fail. So if you don't want to put in the hard work with your research, then you deserve to fail. If you only go on one resource, then you deserve to fail. Now, I've always said this. I talk about what works for me. I am learning all the time. And I always tell you, do your own research. Do not rely on just what I say, folks. Do your own research. Put some work into it, folks. So, 2,000 subscriber YouTube channel that actually lives this life and have done it for a long time and has learned to simplify things versus somebody that has 300,000 subscribers. They're on a prop set trying to sell you gadgets. You know, you can get awful expensive and get the same result as someone that is doing it simple. And when you outdo yourself and wonder what you did wrong, or you realize what you had done wrong, and then you come to me asking me how I can fix it for you, well, I'm not going to fix it for you. I'm going to see if there's any solutions that I am aware of that could make you fix it. But when you say that your dried veggies that you stored in a nice, pretty glass jar with a fancy label and a ribbon around, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that, folks. I really don't. You want to make it pretty? Make it pretty. Make it pretty. But if you're just going to do all that, dry your veggies, put this fancy label on it, put a ribbon on, around the neck of it, and then you're going to put it in a sunny window. So when company comes over, it's a conversation piece. Look what I've done. I'm a homesteader now. Well, anybody that sees that and they know how it should be stored, they are going to wonder why you did all that hard work and then you put it up in a sunny window, right? That's the worst thing you can do, folks. That's the worst thing you can do. So anyway, I guess that's what's on my mind today. I don't get it. I don't get it. I live a simple life, so I don't understand prestigious. I just don't. I don't understand the air of some people. I don't understand how they can't simplify, just like I don't understand how they can be so showy and prestigious, right? I just don't get it. They don't get me, and I don't get them. I'm not saying anything is wrong with either one, folks. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're a newbie and you need that basic course, Dehydrating 101, don't start on a 400 or 500 level video. Don't do that, because you're setting yourself up to fail, folks. Alright? I am going to close with thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your new subscribers. This wasn't to bend any noses. It just wasn't. I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to be not bashful about that. If you want to be prestigious, you go right ahead. At least do your research. If you're going to be simple-minded like I am, live as simply as you can. Understand that it's going to take time. You're going to have to find some patience in you if you do not have any. But you're going to find that it's going to be pretty rewarding. Everything gets done in time. And anything that takes time is worth it, right? So, you don't judge me. I don't judge you. If you do not know, go to somebody that does know, folks. Do your research. Don't rely on one source. Not even Hippie chick. Okay? Question everything. Alright. Thank you. Bye-bye.